Well, hello. It's been a while. Welcome to Torah and Coffee. Hey, check out my new t-shirt. Yeah, look at this. And it says, I don't know if you can make it out, but it says Torah and Coffee. And here's my coffee cup with the Torah inside of it. And then it's talking about Matthew 18:20. For where two or three are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them. Matthew 18:20. But how do you like the shirt? Thank you, Megan. We really appreciate that shirt. And I will wear it when I do Torah and Coffee. I know you see my hand in there, and we appreciate you and your grandma for making the shirt. My wife got a shirt with her logo on it, and I'll have to show it to you sometime. But right now, let's go. Oh, where's my coffee? Right here. I just made a fresh pot of coffee. This is my second pot. So, what I'm going to be going today in Torah and Coffee is what we in Hebrew call Shemot, and it means the names. But in English, it's called Exodus, to road out. So, I'm going to be reading the first 5 chapters and 1 verse from Exodus 1 through Exodus 6, verse 1. So, grab your Bibles, grab your coffee, sit back, read with me, listen to it, drink your coffee, enjoy your coffee, and just get a blessing. These are the names of the son of Israel, or Israel, who came to Egypt with Yaakov, each coming with his household. Reuben, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin, Dan and Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. Now, those names may sound a little bit different to you because I'm reading out of the Torah. Excuse me. Thank you. I'm reading out of the Torah, the Israeli Bible, Torah, Nevi'im, Ketuvim, I should say, which is put here. When we put those three together, it spells Tanakh. The abbreviation is Tanakh. So it has the Old Testament, what we call the Old Testament in there. So it is a little different than what you're used to it, but this is what I'm going to be using. So we're on verse 5. The total number of persons that were with Yaakov, Israel came through 70, Joseph being already in Egypt. Joseph died, and all his brothers and all that generation. But the Israelites were fertile and prolific. They multiplied and increased very greatly, so that the land was filled with them. A new king arose over Egypt who did not know Joseph, and he said to his people, "Look, Bnei Israel, are much too numerous for us. Let us deal shrewdly with them, so that they may not increase. Otherwise, in the event of war, they may join our enemies in fighting against us and rise from the ground. 11. So they set taskmasters over them to oppress them with forced labor, and they built garrison cities for Pharaoh, Pithom and Ramas. So the cities were named Pithom and Ramas. Verse 12. But the more they were oppressed, the more they increased and spread out, so that the Egyptians came to dread the Israelites. The Egyptians ruthlessly imposed upon the Israelites. 14. The various labors that they made them perform ruthlessly, they made life bitter for them with harsh labor at mortar and bricks and with all sorts of tasks in the field. The king of Egypt spoke to the Hebrew midwives. One of them was named Shiphrah and the other one Puah, saying, when you deliver the Hebrew women, look at the birth stool. If it is a boy, kill him. If it is a girl, let her live. The midwives, fearing Yah, did not do so, as the king of Egypt had told them. They let the boys live. So the king of Egypt summoned the midwives and said to them, why have you done these things, letting the boys live? The midwife said to Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not like the Egyptian women. They are vigorous. Before the midwives can come to them, they have given birth. And Yah dealt with the midwives, and the people multiplied and increased greatly. And because the midwives feared Yah, he established households for them. Then Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, every boy that is born you shall throw into the Nile, but let the girls live. Chapter 2. A certain man in the house of Levi went and married a Levite woman. The woman conceived and bore a son, and when she saw how beautiful he was, she hid him for 3 months. Verse 3. When she could hide him no longer, she got a wicker basket for himself and caulked it with pigment and pitch. She put the child into it and placed it among the reeds by the bank of the Nile. And his sister stationed herself at a distance to learn what would befall him. The daughter of Pharaoh came down to bathe in the Nile. While her maiden walked along the Nile, she spied the basket among the reeds and sent her slave girl to fetch it. When she opened it, she saw that it was a child, a boy crying. She took pity on it and said, this must be a Hebrew child. Then his sister said to Pharaoh's daughter, shall I go and get you a Hebrew nurse to suckle the child for you? And Pharaoh's daughter said, yes. So the girl went and called the child's mother. 9. And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, take this child and nurse it for me, and I will pay your wages. So the woman took the child and nursed him. When the child grew up and She brought him to Pharaoh's daughter, who made him her son. She named him Moshe. Explained, I threw him out of the water. I learned that Moshe means the water gives life, because that's what Moses got, life. He was preserved. I'm sorry. Let's see. 11. Sometime after that, when Moshe had grown up, he went out to his kinfolk and witnessed their labors. He saw an Egyptian beating a Hebrew, one of his kinsmen. He turned this way and that, and seeing no one about, he struck down the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. Verse 13. When he went out the next day, he found two Hebrews fighting. So he said to the offender, why do you strike your fellow? He retorted, what made you chief and ruler over us? Do you mean to kill me as you killed the Egyptian? Moshe was frightened and thought, the matter is known. When Pharaoh learned of the matter, he sought to kill Moshe, but Moshe fled from Pharaoh. He arrived in the land of Midian and sat down beside a well. "16. Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters. They came to draw water and filled the trough to water their water's flocks. But shepherds came and drove them off. Moshe rose in their defense, and he watered their flock. When they returned to their father, Reuel, he said, how is it that you have come back so soon today? They answered, an Egyptian rescued us from the shepherds. He even drew water for us and watered the flock. Sorry. He said to his daughters, where is he then? Why did you leave the man? Ask him in to break bread. Moshe consented to stay with the man, and he gave Moshe his daughter Zipporah as wife. She bore a son, whom he named Gershom, for he said, I have been a stranger in a foreign land. A long time after that, the king of Egypt died. The Israelites were groaning under the bondage and cried out, and their cry for help from the bondage rose up to Yah. Yah heard the moaning, and Yah remembered his covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Yah looked upon the Israelites, and Yah took notice of them. Oh, wow. Sound familiar? Chapter 3. Now Moshe tended the flock of his father-in-law Jethro, the priest of Midian, drove the flock into the wilderness, and came to Horeb, the mountain of Yah. An angel of Yah appeared to him in a blazing fire out of a bush. He gazed, and there was a bush all aflame, yet the bush was not consumed. Moshe said, I must turn aside to look at this marvelous sight. Why doesn't the bush burn up? Verse 4. When Yah saw that he had turned aside to look, Yah called to him out of the bush, Moshe, Moshe. He answered, Here I am. And he said, Do not come any closer. Remove your sandals from your feet, for the place on which you stand is holy ground. I am, he said, the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Yitzhak, and the God of Jacob. And Moshe hid his face, for he was afraid to look at Yah. And Yah continued, I have marked well the plight of my people in Egypt, and have heeded their outcry because of their taskmasters. Yes, I am mindful of their suffering. I have come down to rescue them from the Egyptians, and to bring them out of that land to a good and spacious land, a land flowing with milk and honey, the region of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. 9. Now the cry of the Israelites has reached me. Moreover, I have seen how the Egyptians oppressed them. Come, therefore, I will send you to Pharaoh, and you shall free my people, the Israelites, from Egypt. But Moshe said to Yah, Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and free the Israelites from Egypt? And he said, I will be with you. That shall be your sign, that it was I who sent you. And when you have freed the people from Egypt, you shall worship Yah at this mountain. 13. Moshe said to Yah, When I come to the Israelites and say to them, The God of your fathers has sent me to you, and they ask me, What is your name? What shall I say to them? And Yah said to Moshe, Ehe, Asher, Ehe. He continues, Thus shall you say to the Israelites, Ehe has sent me to you. And Yah said further to Moshe, Thus shall you speak to the Israelites, Yah, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Yitzhak, and the God of Jacob has sent me to you. This shall be my name forever. This my appellation for all eternity. 16. Go and assemble the elders of Israel and say to them, Yah, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, Jacob, and Jacob, has appeared to me and said, I have taken note of you and of what is being done to you in Egypt. "17. And I have declared, I will take you out of the misery of Egypt to the land of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites, to a land flowing with milk and honey. They will listen to you. Then you shall go with the elders of Israel to the king of Egypt, and you shall say to them, Yah, the God of the Hebrews, manifested himself to us. Now, therefore, let us go a distance of 3 days in the wilderness to sacrifice to Yah our God. Yet I know that the king of Egypt will let you go only because of a greater might. 20. So I will stretch out my hand and smite Egypt with various wonders, which I will work upon them. After that he shall let you go. And I will dispose the Egyptians favorably toward these people, so that when you go, you will not go away empty-handed. Each woman shall borrow from her neighbor, and the lodger in her house objects of silver and gold and clothes, and you shall put these on your sons and daughters, thus stripping the Egyptians. Chapter 4. And Moses spoke up and said, what if they do not believe me, and do not listen to me, but say, Yah did not appear to you? Yah said to him, what is in your hand? And he replied, a rod. He said, cast it on the ground. He cast it on the ground, and it became a snake. And Moshe recoiled from it. Then Yah said to Moshe, put your hand and grasp it by the tail. He put out his hand and seized it, and it became a rod in his hand, that they may believe that Yah, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Yitzhak, and the God of Yaakov, did appear to you. Yah said to him further, put your hand into your bosom. He put his hand into his bosom, and when he took it out, his hand was encrusted with snowy scales. And he said, put your hand back into your bosom. He put his hand back into his bosom, and when he took it out of his bosom, there it was again like the rest of his body. And if they do not believe you or pay heed to you the first time, they shall believe the second. Verse 9. And if they are not convinced by both these signs, and still do not heed you, take some water from the Nile and pour it on the ground. And the water that you take from the Nile will turn to blood on the ground. But Moshe said to Yah, please, O Yah, I have never been a man of words, either in times past or now that you have spoken to your servant. I am slow of speech and slow in tongue. And Yah said to him, who gives man speech? Who makes him dumb or deaf, seeing or blind? Is it not I, Yah? Now go, and I will be with you as you speak, and will instruct you what to say. But he said, please, O Yah, make someone else your agent. Yah became angry with Moshe, and he said, there's your brother Aaron, the Levite. He, I know, speaks readily. Even now he is setting out to meet you, and he will be happy to see you. You shall speak to him and put the words into his mouth, and I will be with you and with him as you speak, and tell both of you what to do. And he shall speak for you to the people. Thus he shall serve you as a spokesman with you playing as the role of Yah to him, and take with you this rod with which you shall perform the signs. Moshe went back to his father-in-law Jethro and said to him, "Let me go back to my kinsmen in Egypt and see how they are faring." And Jethro said to Moshe, "Go in peace." Yah said to Moshe in Midian, "Go back to Egypt, for all the men who sought to kill you are dead." Verse 20. So Moshe took his wife and son, mounted them on an ass, and went back to the land of Egypt. And Moshe took the rod of Yah with him. And Yah said to Moshe, "When you return to Egypt, see that you perform before Pharaoh all the marvels that I have put within your power. I, however, will stiffen his heart, so that he will not let the people go." Verse 22. Then you shall say to Pharaoh, "Thus says Yah, Israel is my firstborn son. I have said to you, let my son go, that he may worship me. Yet you refuse to let him go. Now I will slay your firstborn son." At a night encampment on the way, Yah encountered him and sought to kill him. So Zipporah took a flint and cut off the son's foreskin and checked his leg with it, saying, "You are a bridegroom of blood to me." And when he let him alone, she added, "A bridegroom of blood because of the circumcision." Yah said to Aaron, "Go to meet Moshe in the wilderness." He went and met him at the mountain of Yah, and he kissed him. Moshe told Aaron about all the things that Yah had committed to him, and all the signs about which he had instructed him. Then Moshe and Aaron went and assembled all the elders of the Israelites. Aaron repeated all the words that Yah had spoken to Moshe, and he performed the signs in the sight of the people. And the people were convinced when they heard that Yah had taken note of the Israelites and that he had sent their plight. Verse 31 again. And the people were convinced when they heard that Yah had taken note of the Israelites and that he had seen their plight. They bowed low in homage. Chapter 5. After Moshe and Aaron went and said to Pharaoh, "Thus says Yah, the God of Israel, let my people go, that they may celebrate the festival for me in the wilderness." But Pharaoh said, "Who is Yah, that I should heed him and let Israel go? I do not know Yah, nor do I let Israel go." They answered, "The God of the Hebrews has manifested himself to us. Let us go, we pray, a distance of 3 days in the wilderness to sacrifice to Yah our God. Let he strike us with pestilence and sword." But the king of Egypt said to them, "Moshe and Aaron, Why do you distract the people from their task? Get to your labors. And Pharaoh continued, the people of the land are already so numerous, and you would have them cease from their labors? The same that Pharaoh charged the taskmasters and foremen of the people, saying, you shall no longer provide the people with straw for making bricks as heretofore. Let them go and get straw for themselves, but impose upon them the same quota of bricks as they have been making heretofore. Do not reduce it, for they are shirkers. That is why they cry, let us go and sacrifice to our God. Shirkers in the Hebrew means that they reject their work and they want to go on strike. Verse 9, let heavier work be laid upon the men. Let them keep it at it and not pay attention to deceitful promises. So the taskmasters and foremen of the people went out and said to the people, thus says Pharaoh, I will not give you any straw. You must go and get your straw yourself, wherever you can find it. But there shall be no decrease whatever you in your work. Let's read verse 3 again. And you must go and get your straw yourself, and wherever you can find it. But there shall be no decrease whether in your work. Then the people scattered throughout the land of Egypt to gather stubble for straw. And the taskmasters pressed them, saying, you must complete the same work assignment each day as when you had straw. The foremen of the Israelites, whom Pharaoh's taskmasters had set over them, were beaten. Why they were asked, did you not complete the prescribed amount of bricks, either yesterday or today, as you did before? Then the foreman of the Israelites came to Pharaoh and cried, why do you deal thus with your servants? No straw is issued to your servants, yet they demand us, make bricks. Thus your servants are being beaten, when the fault is with your own people. He replied, you are shirkers. That is why you say, let us go and sacrifice to Yah. Be off now to your work. No straw shall be issued to you, but you must produce your quota of bricks. But the foremen of the Israelites found themselves in trouble because of the order. You must not reduce your daily quantity of bricks. As they left Pharaoh's presence, there came a promotion in Aaron, standing in their path. Verse 21, and they said to them, may Yah look upon you and punish you for making us loathsome to Pharaoh and his courtiers, putting a sword in their hands to slay us. Then Moshe returned to Yah and said, oh Yah, why did you bring harm upon the people? Why did you send me? Ever since I came to Pharaoh to speak in your name, he has dealt words with these people, and still you have not delivered your people. Chapter 6, verse 1. Then Yah said to Moshe, you shall soon see what I will do to Pharaoh. He shall let them go because of a greater might. Indeed, because of a greater might, he shall drive them from his land. thus concludes Torah and Coffee. And I hope you have a blessed day. Enjoy the Torah reading of Exodus chapter 1 through chapter 6, verse 1. May Yah, the father of Abraham, Yitzhak, and Jacob, richly bless you. Amen.